New at 6, two homeless women were arrested after police say they damaged and stole $17,000 from a North Fargo business. The same happened yesterday in the 1200 block of First Avenue North. Police say this woman, 35-year-old Rachel Vick, and another one not pictured, 39-year-old Brittany Greer, broke windows, damaged the inside of the store, and stole some things. Both are now at the Cass County Jail facing burglary charges.
West Fargo police are looking to identify someone they say is a person of interest in a burglary. Take a look. They haven't said exactly where or when the burglary happened, but if you know who this person is or where they could be, reach out to West Fargo Police. You can also submit tips anonymously at westfargopolice.com. New information on a crash in Fargo Sunday night. We now know that one person has died. It happened at the intersection of 10th Street North and 7th Avenue North around 10:20 Sunday night. Fargo police say 57-year-old Susan Ashline ran through a red light and hit another vehicle. Police say a person in that second vehicle died, though they have not released their name. Ashline was cited for failure to obey a traffic signal and distracted driving. No word if those charges will now be upgraded. Fargo police are still investigating.